Hello, thank you for taking a moment to watch this video, and on this specific training I want to talk to you about call transfers. You see, sometimes when you're dialing through your list of contacts, you may run into a situation where you need to transfer that live conversation to somebody else on your team or some other number in general. And PhoneBurner makes it really easy for you to transfer calls, but you do need to set up what are called transfer agents within your account. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this dial session. Now from within your PhoneBurner account, in the upper right hand portion, we're going to click on your initials, or maybe an image depending on whether or not you've updated that. And we're going to go down to the dial session option within settings. From the dial session settings on the left hand side, you're going to see an option called call transfer. Go ahead and click on that. Here you'll see a list of any call transfer agents that you've already created. Now obviously I have some that I've created in the past, but you may not or probably do not have any transfer agents that you've created. Now creating a call transfer agent is super easy. In the upper right hand portion of the page, you're going to click on the Add Call Transfer Agent button. That'll take you to a new page where you can start to set up a call transfer agent. Whenever you're creating a new transfer agent, there's a couple things that you need to consider, and I'm going to do my best to try to help you understand the options that you have available here. But the first thing you need to decide is, what are you going to name the call transfer agent? Keep in mind, whatever you put in here for the name is what's going to show up in the dial session for you to select to initiate the call transfer. In most cases, you'll probably just name the transfer agent after the individual that you're going to try to connect to when you're in a dial session. However, I do want to point something out. You see, PhoneBurner doesn't require you to only have one person's phone number or phone numbers in a transfer agent. In most cases, that's what you're going to do, but in some cases, you might have a group of people that you want to try to connect to or transfer the call to, not really caring which of those people picks up the phone, but just somebody from that team. Like, for example, a closer group. This might be a group of people that can help you close a deal. So let's walk through creating a transfer agent with this concept in mind. Once you've added the name, the next thing we need to do is add the phone numbers. Now for creating a closer group where it's multiple people, the label might be something like Jeff Sell. And you put in the cell phone number of that specific individual. Then we can add an additional phone number. And this might be something like Mary's cell. And we'd put in Mary's phone number. And if we wanted to connect with Mary at multiple phone numbers, we could just continue adding as many phone numbers for the different people and numbers that we want to attempt to reach whenever we want to use this transfer agent. But in my case, I'm just going to leave this to Jeff and Mary and their cell phones. Now the next thing we need to consider is the emails option. This is optional, you don't have to do it. But you can add an email address or addresses to this transfer agent, and whenever you initiate a call to this transfer agent or group of people, the system will also send an email to whatever email address or addresses you put in here with a copy of all the contact details, so the person or people that you're trying to transfer this call to can have all the details about that contact right in front of them as they're taking that call. So in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and add Jeff and Mary. And of course, I can add as many email addresses as I need based off of the person or people that I'm trying to transfer this call to. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit Save Changes. And there we go. I now have a new call transfer agent in my account. This is my closer group. It actually has phone numbers for two different people. So when I use this call transfer agent, the system is going to try to connect with both of these people at the same time, and whoever answers first wins the call transfer. The system is also going to send an email with all the contact details to the transfer agent so that they have that information at their fingertips. And here you can see from my previous call transfer agents, I have one that's one individual with multiple phone numbers and one that's an individual with a single phone number and no email addresses. So the next thing we need to consider when it comes to call transfers is the caller ID that the transfer agents are going to see on their phone when they're receiving an inbound transfer. There are two options. One, we display the phone number of the prospect that you called. So let's say you're calling Sally Prospect. Sally Prospect answers, and you want to transfer that call to our closer group. So when Jeff or Mary are receiving that phone call, do they want to see Sally's phone number, or should they see your phone number, the caller ID that's being used in that dial session? You can adjust this by toggling this on or off. So if I want to display my caller ID to the transfer agent, I just need to make sure this is toggled on. If I want it to be the prospect's caller ID, I make sure that's toggled off. It's that simple. So now that we've got a call transfer agent set up, we've decided what we want the caller ID to be when we transfer a call. Now it's time to jump into a dial session and actually take advantage of this. So let's click on Contacts. In my case, I'm just going to select some records and begin a dial session. I'm also going to choose the Manually Set Settings option rather than a dialer preset. And the reason why is I want to talk to you about one of the other options that we have when it comes to call transferring, and that is related to call recording. You see, if you've enabled call recording on your account, you have three options when you're starting a dial session, and that is to record those calls, to not record those calls, and to stop recording those calls on transfer. So keep that in mind. If you don't want to record the call after you transfer the call to somebody, then you may want to use this stop on transfer option. And that'll ensure that you're not recording any of that conversation after you've left. I'm going to go ahead and select that one for this specific example. Let's go ahead and continue and get connected. Now that I'm connected, I'm going to go ahead and start dialing. We've connected with somebody, and now we want to transfer the call. So we're going to click on that live answer button. And now we just need to click on the transfer call button. That's going to bring up our transfer agent, so you'll see our closer group listed here. If I choose this option, my prospect will be put on hold, and the system will try to reach any one of the contacts or phone numbers that are part of this transfer agent. If I connect with them, I can chat with them privately. This is what we refer to as a warm transfer, so I get to talk to my agent first. I can also put my transfer agent on hold and talk privately with my prospect again if I want. I can go back and forth between both of these until I'm ready to merge the calls. I can go ahead and merge the calls. Once I merge the call, we're all talking together. Everybody can hear everything. I have this keypad here where if I needed to navigate any menu system on my transfer agent's line, I could do that. And then when I'm done, I can leave the bridged call. Those two will stay connected while I exit the bridge. And of course, if I had call recording configured to stop on transfer, the recording of that call would stop now as well. And the last thing I want to show you is the email that the system would send if you're using the option to send an email on transfer. So here you can see the details specific to this contact, all of the core information and notes, description, tags, activity, as well as custom field data. It should give your transfer agents all the information they need to reference throughout the call after you've left. So anyway, that's how easy it is for you to configure a transfer agent in PhoneBurner so that you can start transferring calls while making dials using PhoneBurner. Thanks again, and happy dialing.